Chile, a long and narrow country in South America, is often misunderstood as a place where women are forbidden to wear clothes, but that's not the case. Instead, Chile boasts the only official nude beach in the country, Playa, where people can freely choose to go clothing-free if they wish. Stretching over 4,270 kilometers in length with an average width of just 177 kilometers, Chile has a unique shape, often likened to a chili pepper, which contributes to its diverse climate and geography. From the arid Atacama desert in the north to the glaciers in the south, Chile is an ideal destination for those who love exploring nature and culture. Below is a detailed look at its standout features with humorous comparisons, personal opinions, and fresh insights to shed light on this fascinating country. Chile, a long and narrow nation in South America, is a melting pot of wonders from culture and nature to history. With a length exceeding 4,270 kilometers and an average width of only 177 kilometers, Chile's distinctive chili pepper shape creates a remarkable variety of climates and landscapes. From the bone-dry Atacama Desert in the north to the icy glaciers in the south, Chile is a dream spot for anyone eager to dive into nature and culture. Here's an in-depth analysis of its key aspects based on the latest research with international comparisons, personal thoughts, and quirky new facts thrown in for good measure. The Atacama Desert, known as the driest place on Earth, isn't just a stunning wilderness. It's also a serious environmental mess, thanks to becoming a dumping ground for the fast fashion industry. Every year, thousands of tons of unsold clothes, mostly from Bangladesh and China, travel through the US, Europe, and Asia before landing here. By 2023, at least 39,000 tons had piled up, and in 2021, that number soared past 46,000 tons. Picture this. That's the weight of about 2,600 adult elephants, sitting there polluting the soil, air, and groundwater. Oh, and sometimes these heaps catch fire on their own, spewing toxic fumes like a bad fashion barbecue. Compared to the US, which churns out 11.3 million tons of textile waste annually, this is a global headache, not just Chile's. Personally, it bums me out that the clothes we wear can wreak such havoc, and it's got me rethinking my shopping habits. Maybe it's time to go for sustainable threads. Fun fact. In 2022, a massive fire broke out in this clothing graveyard, pumping out fumes so nasty that locals had to hunker down indoors. Forget the myth that Chile bans women from wearing clothes. Truth is, it's got Playa, the country's only official nude beach, tucked away in Valparaiso. Recognized since 2000, this spot lets you bask in the sun without tan lines or worries. With a coastline stretching 6,000 kilometers, second only to Canada, Chile also offers swanky resorts like Vina del Mar, where the Mediterranean climate is perfect for swimming, surfing, and lively festivals. I think going au naturel on a beach sounds like a wild adventure, though respecting local vibes and the environment is key. Surprise twist. Playa has been hosting nudist cultural events since the 1960s, drawing families and naturism fans alike. In Algarrobo, the San Alfonso del Mar pool once held the title of one of the world's largest, sprawling over 8.2 hectares and holding 250 million liters of crystal-clear seawater. It might not be the record holder anymore, but it's still an engineering stunner, bigger than some natural lakes. Compared to giant pools in Egypt or Morocco, this one stands out with a $3.5 million construction cost and $2 million in yearly upkeep. It's not just for swimming. It's a relaxation hub with restaurants, bars, and shops nearby. A splashy surprise for lovers of human-made grandeur. Bonus tidbit, you can kayak across it like paddling a mini ocean. Easter Island, or Rapa Nui, part of Chile, is one of the planet's most isolated spots, 3,600 kilometers from the mainland, and 2,000 kilometers east of its nearest neighbor, Pitcairn. Covering over 163 square kilometers, it's famous for nearly 900 moai statues, carved from volcanic rock since the 12th century to honor deified ancestors. Recent DNA studies suggest the population didn't collapse from overexploitation, but had contact with South America as early as the 14th century. Unlike other islands, its undeciphered Rongo script adds an extra layer of intrigue, pulling in tourists and researchers. A fresh find in 2023, a moai uncovered in a dried-up lake, only amps up the allure. Chile boasts around 2,000 volcanoes, with over 100 still active, making it a volcanic heavyweight, second only to Indonesia. Villarrica, at 2,860 meters, is a showstopper with its lava lake glowing inside a snowy crater, a fiery contrast to its icy exterior. Since the 16th century it's erupted 61 times, most recently in 2015, prompting the evacuation of nearly 4,000 locals. Chile's volcano monitoring system, like the Southern Andes Volcano Observatory, keeps risks in check, showcasing the people's grit against nature's fury. Compared to Japan's volcanic landscape, Chile's response system is impressive. Hot news. In July 2024, Villarrica belched a huge smoke plume, rattling the Pucón tourism hub. Welcome to Chile, a land of stunning contrasts and rich cultural heritage. From the arid Atacama Desert in the north to the icy fjords of Patagonia in the south, Chile's landscapes are as diverse as its people. Join us as we explore the history, resilience, and vibrant traditions that make this South American nation truly unique. Sitting on the Pacific Ring of Fire, Chile has faced its share of monster quakes, none bigger than the 1960 Valdivia Trembler, 9.5 on the Richter scale, the strongest ever recorded. It flattened Valdivia and unleashed a tsunami that caused widespread havoc. But it sparked a push for tougher building codes, early warning systems, and quake-resistant infrastructure, making Chile a global leader in preparedness. Like Japan, another quake-prone nation, Chile's resilience shines through. Fun fact, they hold annual earthquake drills to keep everyone on their toes. Chile is a wine lover's paradise, with regions like Colchagua Valley pumping out bold Cabernet Franc and Carmenere, and Casablanca Valley offering zesty Chardonnay and Viognier. Wine here isn't just a drink, it's cultural gold, celebrated at harvest festivals in March and April, like the Colchagua Wine Harvest Fest, where you can pick grapes and savor local eats. Compared to France, Chilean wine is wallet-friendly yet top-notch, tempting me to try more varieties. A new trend. Winemakers are going green, embracing organic methods and cutting emissions. Mapuche culture, bond with the land. The Mapuche, Chile's largest indigenous group with about 1.7 million people, 80% of the native population, live mainly in Araucania, 700 kilometers south of Santiago. Their name, People of the Land, reflects a deep tie to nature, seen in rituals like Ngillatun, a Thanksgiving ceremony with songs and prayers. Known for weaving, wood carving, and traditional healing, they craft items like penal scarves and 2-meter-tall grave markers. Their new year, Huitrapantu, kicks off on June 23rd with a chilly river dip to wash away bad vibes. Compared to Bolivia's indigenous groups, the Mapuche have a stronger modern political and cultural voice. In 2023, a massive Mapuche festival in Temuco drew thousands to preserve their language and traditions. No public drinking allowed. In Chile, sipping booze in public, on streets, sidewalks, plazas, you name it, is a no-go. It's a shock for folks from places like Germany or Spain where it's fine, but it fits Chile's straight-laced vibe. I reckon respecting local rules keeps the peace, especially for travelers. Fun fact, break this law and you could face a fine of 62,000 CLP, about $70, enough for a nice bottle of Chilean wine. Chile's long, skinny outline, stretching over 4,270 kilometers north to south, but averaging just 177 kilometers wide, earns it the Chili Pepper nickname. From the Atacama Desert up north to southern islands and glaciers, it's got a Mediterranean climate in the middle, perfect for tourism. Compared to Italy or Greece, its shape stands out, shaping its culture and economy. Bonus. This layout packs in ecosystems from deserts to rainforests, boosting biodiversity like nowhere else. Privatized water, a controversial model. Chile stands alone as the only country to fully privatize its water resources, a system kicked off in the 1980s. This model hands over water management and extraction to big companies, focusing heavily on agricultural production like avocados and grapes. But here's the rub. Many worry it's jacking up water prices, especially in dry regions, hitting everyday folks hard. Compared to England, which dabbled in water privatization but faced pushback, Chile's gone all in, sparking debates about whether access to water, a basic need, should be up for grabs. Personally, I think water ought to be a public resource, not a corporate toy, since it directly ties to people's right to live. In 2022, Chile started rationing water due to drought, shining a spotlight on unfair distribution woes. Chilean cuisine, a unique blend. Chilean food is a tasty mashup of Mapuche indigenous roots, Spanish flair and European touches, with seafood galore thanks to that long coastline. Standouts include empanada de pino, think pastries stuffed with beef, onions, raisins, olives and boiled eggs, and ceviche, fish marinated in zesty lime. Compared to Peru, Chile keeps it simpler but just as delicious. I'm hooked on the variety, especially local gems like curanto al hoyo, a steamed stew from the Chiloé archipelago. Fun fact, Chile ranks second globally for per capita bread consumption, a tasty nod to its rich food culture. Chile's dubbed País de los Poetas, thanks to two Nobel-winning wordsmiths, Gabriela Mistral in 1945 and Pablo Neruda in 1971. Other literary stars like Vicente Huidobro and Nicanor Parra have also enriched Chile's scene. Compared to France, with its 15 Nobel Lit wins, Chile's tally is smaller but mighty impressive. I find Neruda's poetry deeply moving, painting vivid pictures of nature and love, hot off the press. In 2024, Santiago hosted a Neruda Poetry Festival that drew thousands of verse lovers. Chile's home to 5 penguin species: king, Humboldt, rockhopper, Magellanic, and Galapagos, adding a unique natural charm to South America. Sadly, all these waddling wonders face extinction risks from oil spills, overfishing, and climate change. In 2017, Chile nixed 2 big oil drilling projects to safeguard their habitats. With over 4,000 kilometers of southern coastline, Chile's the closest nation to Antarctica, with the Gila archipelago just 950 kilometers away, boosting its wildlife riches and staking a claim to over 1,257,000 square kilometers of Antarctic territory. Chile runs 13 research stations there, playing a big role in exploration, science, and global teamwork. I think protecting these penguins is crucial, and I hope Chile keeps up the conservation fight. Pisco Sour, a national drink with a twist. Pisco Sour, Chile's so-called national cocktail, mixes pisco, a grape-based spirit, lime juice, sugar, egg white, and a dash of bitters. But its origins? A tug-of-war between Chile and Peru, both claiming bragging rights. Some say it was whipped up in early 20th century Lima by an American, Victor Morris. Yet Chile flaunts its coastal valley pisco tradition with strict quality controls. Compared to Mexico's tequila, Pisco Sour's got its own vibe, tart, sweet, and frothy, a must-try in Chile. I find it a fun sip, especially in a festive setting, and I'd nudge any visitor to give it a go for that unique blend. Fresh scoop. In 2024, Santiago threw a Pisco Sour festival that packed in thousands. Football passion and triumph. Football reigns supreme in Chile, where the national team snagged Copa America titles in 2015 and 2016. Icons like Alexis Sanchez and Arturo Vidal shine bright, and Chile remains a tough contender, currently ranked 40th by FIFA. Compared to Argentina and Brazil, Chile might not steal the spotlight, but their grit, 9 World Cup appearances and a third-place finish in 1962, earns respect. I love how football unites communities here, especially during big matches. Surprise tidbit: Chile hosted the 1962 World Cup and the team's still a source of national pride. Cueca, the national dance. Cueca, crowned Chile's national dance in 1979, captures the country's cultural soul, also grooving its way into Argentina and Bolivia. Rooted in 16th century European folk dances, it's evolved to reflect Chilean spirit. Dancers wave handkerchiefs overhead like flirtatious roosters moving in semicircles without touching, just pure vibe through expressions and steps. Performed at festivals, especially from September to April in the Central Valley, Cueca ties to the rural Huaso lifestyle. I find it lively, like an outdoor dance party, and I'd love to learn a move or two. New buzz. In 2024, Santiago hosted an international Cueca Fest, pulling in global visitors. Desert blooms, a rare spectacle. Every few years, the Atacama Desert bursts into bloom with the Desierto Florido, featuring over 200 flower species like Copiapoa and Atacama daisies. Triggered by rare rains waking dormant seeds, it usually hits in spring, but in 2024 El Niño sparked an early winter show. Compared to California's super blooms, Atacama's version is rarer and iconic, luring tourists and photographers. I'd kill to see this natural magic firsthand. It's like a desert miracle. Heads up. In 2025, forecasts predict a big bloom thanks to unusual rains, a golden ticket for explorers. Chile's a land of surprises, from nude beaches to desert flowers, buzzing volcanoes to rich Mapuche culture. I see it as a diverse gem worth exploring, though I hope issues like fashion pollution and water distribution get tackled to protect its environment and people. What do you think of Chile? Share your thoughts.